Welcome to Tree to Table. I'm your host, Sarah Goldbart-Gorman. Today we're making a gorgeous Thanksgiving-ready salad in the Explore More Museum of downtown Harrisonburg. Our salad today is a spinach salad with a warm bacon dressing, Granny Smith apples, and root vegetables. Let's get started. We have a lovely gift box of Granny Smith apples for this recipe today. This would be a great thing to send to family or friends ahead of Thanksgiving as kind of like a gift to say, hey, here's some great ingredients that you can count on to make a delicious Thanksgiving meal or dessert. We need 2 apples for today's recipe. So I'm gonna pull 2 out of this gorgeous box. Granny Smith are wonderful for fresh eating and salads like we're using them today, but they're also wonderful for baking and cooking. It's a super tart apple, so it really makes a salad or any other recipe really pop. This recipe is full of so many gorgeous festive colors. We have red beets, yellow beets, carrots, radishes, this green spinach, this gorgeous pop of really green Granny Smith apple. This salad is really made to impress on Thanksgiving. So if you're looking for a really bright, fresh, vibrant addition to your Thanksgiving table, this is the one for you. The first step in this recipe is to make our vinaigrette, our warm bacon vinaigrette. We're cooking 8 ounces of bacon in this pan over here. While that's cooking, I'm gonna prepare my shallot. For our warm bacon dressing, we're gonna need a 1/4 cup of shallots. I'm working with some pretty big shallots today, but you might use 2 depending on the size of what you can find at your local grocery store. We're gonna slice these up very thin so they can really crisp up in that bacon fat in the pan. So for our bacon, you want it to be really nice and crispy because we're gonna reserve it after we're done cooking it here, and we're gonna put it on top of the salad afterwards for just a yummy, salty bite. So now that our bacon is perfectly rendered and absolutely crispy, we're gonna add our shallots to the remaining drippings and little bacon bits that are in the pan. We're gonna cook these until they're golden brown and really soaking up all that bacony goodness. As you're cooking the shallots in these bacon drippings, you're also deglazing your pan because the shallots are releasing their moisture, and you can use your spoon to kind of scrape up any of those really cooked bits on the bottom of the pan and incorporate those into the shallot mixture. Next, we're gonna remove the bacon and shallots from the heat and add in the rest of our vinaigrette ingredients. Into this hot pan, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of honey. I like to just eyeball this because measuring honey with the stickiness and different spoons is just a pain. So go ahead and add your 3 tablespoons. And then we're gonna add some freshly cracked pepper and some salt. And we can't forget our fresh herbs. For this recipe, we wanna bring in those Thanksgiving aromatic flavors with some fresh thyme and some fresh tarragon. So for both of these herbs, you really want them to be really finely minced before you add them into the recipe, and then stir to combine in the pan. We're gonna leave our prepared dressing on the stovetop on warm while we prepare the rest of our ingredients. The next step of our process is to prepare our root vegetables and Granny Smith apples. We'll be peeling these into lovely ribbons for our salad. You wanna have some ice baths ready for your peeled veggies. The reason that we have 3 is because we're separating them because beets tend to bleed. If we put all of this in the same bowl, radishes would turn dark red, our yellow beets would have kind of a pink tinge to them, and we wanna keep all of these beautiful veggies distinct and separate. The ice bath also keeps them nice and crisp before we add them to our salad. So there is a good bit of peeling involved in this recipe, but that is where your friends and family come in. Thanksgiving, the holidays, and fall and winter in general are all about gathering around the table with friends and family. One thing you can really involve people in is this peeling process. Kids love to get involved in the kitchen. You can give them a kid-friendly peeler and have them prepare the salad with you, peeling these vegetables into lovely ribbons. Before you begin your ribbon process, make sure you have fully peeled all of your vegetables. You know, we usually love the peels of our veggies. They have lots of fiber, they're colorful, and they often taste pretty good. But for this recipe, we really want a more delicate bite, so we're just gonna remove a lot of that fibrous peel to reveal that beautiful tender inside. So I'm gonna begin with our red beet. I'm starting at the top and kind of wrapping around, creating as long of a ribbon as I can. This would be a great competition for kids in the kitchen. You know, who can create the longest ribbon as you're peeling. And it's okay if your ribbons are irregular or funky shaped. We want the salad to have character and personality. And the emphasis really is to go for thin slices. Beets are nice and earthy and sweet. And when we're eating them raw, we want them nice and thin. Instead of peeling our apples, we're going to thinly slice them for our salad. We're still using an ice bath because we don't want the apples to turn brown before we put them in the salad, so that's going to keep them nice and fresh and crisp. Also, we really want to slice our apples super thin, like more thin than usual, because since we have these lovely ribbons of beets and carrot, if we have big chunks of apple, it will just be too much of a contrast. You want to have your apple slices, you know, maybe even like 1/8 of an inch thick, not quite like, you know, transparent, but nice and thin. In addition to our beets and apples, we're also going to include some carrots. And when we're working with these fresh local apples, why not work with fresh local produce as well? I love sourcing from my local farmer's market, and you can often find things with the tops on you can use for other recipes on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to slice up about 1 medium carrot. Mine are kind of small, so I'm going to do 2. And then I'm going to also slice up 4 beautiful red radishes. And for all this process, I just use a regular old kitchen peeler. If you have a mandolin slicer, feel free to use that. But our objective here is to get everything really nice and almost paper thin. It's time to assemble this beautiful, colorful salad. So our chilled veggies soaked for about 15 minutes, we dried them off. Let's go ahead and add them into our spinach salad. We're gonna add the yellow beets, we're gonna add red beets, our carrots, our radishes, and our apples. We're gonna toss and combine this before adding our vinaigrette. We're gonna grab our warmed vinaigrette from the stove and add it to our salad. And this is why we use spinach, because it can really stand up to this warm bacon vinaigrette. We're gonna season with a little bit of salt and a little more of that cracked black pepper. And our salad is looking so gorgeous and colorful and seasonal and just, yeah, so fall. Now time for the finishing touches. Remember that bacon from before? We're gonna use this to top our salad. So we've crumbled it and we're just gonna sprinkle it over the top of our salad. Next, we're gonna add our toasted walnuts. The textures in the salad are just so gorgeous. And time for the final touch, our crumbled goat cheese. Our salad is looking so gorgeous and beautiful. I cannot wait to give it a try. I'm gonna make sure I grab a bite with some spinach and goat cheese and walnut and gorgeous Granny Smith apple. Here we go. The salad is bright, it's fresh. That tart Granny Smith really shines through. I can't wait for you to try this in your own kitchen. Stay tuned for what we're cooking up next at Shenandoah Valley Orchards.